This is the rest of you International Desk here on WViDesk.com, Phoenix 92.5 FM, and of course our new YouTube channel, WViDesk 2016 on YouTube. Guys, this is podcast 270, and I've decided to change it up a little bit and drop this on our YouTube channel, so you guys are getting this even before the website and before our live show. Guys, if you like what you hear either on the YouTube, on our website, or Phoenix 92.5 FM, you can email us internationaldesk@restview.com or WViDesk2016 at gmail.com. You can tweet us at WViDesk. My Twitter is at Darragh. This is a very interesting show because this is an interview with Matt Hardy, which is one of the 3 or 4 interviews which I have just sitting around on my computer, and I never actually uploaded on the website. So it's really, well, it's my fault that they didn't go up there, but I'm getting around to it now. And this is an interview with Matt after Slammiversary and the controversy with EC3 and the World Heavyweight title. So guys, check it out. It's a 15-minute interview, very interesting one. And yeah, if you haven't already, go over to WViDesk.com or our YouTube channel, WViDesk 2016. Okay, well, there's a lot going on right now in TNA. Talk to me about how your this whole situation with the world title came about. How did you end up in the match? How did you feel about competing in front of your home crowd at Bound for Glory, first of all?
I ended up in this match. From a storyline perspective, what happened was I was involved in a tag team match with Drew McIntyre, the go home week right before Bound for Glory. And the deal was Dixie Carter had been having a real hard time controlling the egomaniac, her nephew, EC3. And basically she said if we won the tag team match, not only was Drew Galloway in the match, but also myself as well. So it became a 3-way dance. And then she announced my brothers as the referee.
Right.
So that's how we got there from a storyline perspective. I think in the big scheme of things, I think TNA and management realized, like, hey, we're in North Carolina. We had a couple ideas for Matt, but I think this would be the best usage of him. And I think it worked out, especially because, like, for 3 months prior to that, I had been working with EC3 in a program for the world title. So I think it kind of tied up a nice little bow on everything, especially the story, because you had, the guy, Matt Hardy, who's fighting for redemption against EC3 and fighting to win that heavyweight title. And then finally, I'm able to walk into this match at Bound for Glory in my hometown, or actually 100 miles in my home state, 100 miles from where I live, in my home state, and be in front of my fellow North Carolinians to perform, and that was amazing. That night was truly incredible. I was so honored to be put in the match, and I was also so excited to perform in North Carolina in that main event of the pay-per-view for the world title. And when the match was all said and done, and I became the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And then, it was so great to have my dad, who's 82 years old, and he's had a lot of health problems in the last few years. For him to be alive and be able to be there and witness it and celebrate with me in the ring. My son, who will be 4 months old tomorrow, Maxwell, for him to be there and celebrate it with me. My wife, my brother, my best friend, Shane Helms, all those people were in attendance, and we celebrated at the end of the night. I mean, it truly was almost like a happy ending to a fairy tale. And not a lot of guys get to have that in wrestling career. So I feel very honored and humbled to have been able to have that magical moment.
Right. And it's something that I think a lot of TNA fans, myself included, were expecting to happen a little bit sooner. But we're glad it happened when it did. So I was happy when you won the belt, honestly, but what happened afterwards?
Thank you.
What happened afterwards really confused me, because I know there was a lot of outpouring of support for you when you won the belt. People were happy we were happy when Jeff won, happy when you won. You have a lot of fans to carry over. How did you feel when you found out you were going to drop the belt, or was it actually your decision to drop the belt?
Well, when the thing came about EC3 filing an injunction and me having to relinquish it, it's certainly not a perfect case scenario. In a perfect world, I would have loved to have been a fighting and defending champion, and I would have loved to have had a celebration Wednesday on Impact, and then I would have loved to have started wrestling different number one contenders and became a great fighting champion. And TNA Impact Wrestling fans what they deserve. A champion who goes out and has kick-ass matches week in and week out, and that's what I wanted to do. The reality of the situation is that the belt had to be relinquished, it had to be vacated so we could move into this World Title Series. And not a perfect world scenario, but it is what it is. And regardless if I had the belt for 3 days or 3 minutes, that moment that I had celebrating at the end of Bound for Glory made everything worthwhile.
Right. What was the remit for you? Were you told going into the match that the belt was going to be taken away, or did you decide, hey, this would make the storyline better, or were you involved at all? That's what I'm trying to get at.
I was involved. I was involved with everything that was going on. Decision making was.
Yeah.
And it was basically one of those things where TNA and Destination America, they were kind of figuring out where the future goes.
Sure.
And basically, this is the hand that TNA was dealt, and we had to make the most out of it. And that's what we did to make the most out of it.
Okay, cool. Well, moving forward into the World Title Series. How do you feel? How involved are you in this now? Is the goal to try and get back up on top, or are you looking for revenge on EC3?
No doubt. My goal is to win this thing and become the TNA World Heavyweight Champion for a second time, and have the reign that I actually deserve to have. Right. And in a best case scenario, the finals would come down to me versus EC3. And I would beat his little ass and pin him so he couldn't say he was unpinned anymore. That'd be the best case scenario. Mm. But regardless, I want to go on. I want to win the World Title Series, and I want to become the champ, and I want to represent TNA proudly and give the Impact Wrestling fans a champion they deserve. I mean, I really hope at the end of January, the World Title Series will be done by then. I hope at the end of January, when we roll into the UK and there's 3 big television tapings, I want to be the champion at that time.
Okay, well, hopefully that would be cool to see, man, because it's been a while since you've been here in the UK. How do you feel about maybe working over here again? Are you excited about it?
I love coming to the UK. I was with TNA last January on their tour and wrestled many times over there, and I actually came back in March for Preston Championship Wrestling that I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yes.
I love coming to the UK, and I love how great and loyal UK fans are to Impact Wrestling. And that warms my heart. Just the fact that they are so committed and so supportive and loyal of TNA is great, because I know TNA is a player, and we are competitive to WWE there in the UK marketplace, which is amazing because, WWE is such a juggernaut in the wrestling industry. I love coming there because the fans, they're intelligent, they're smart, and they're also very respectful. I'll be honest, I love the United States. I'm born and raised in the United States, but the UK fans are much more respectful than the United States fans.
And just for the record as well, the Irish fans love you too, Matt. They really do. We miss TNA in Ireland, but some of the best shows I've ever seen actually involved yourself when you were with TNA a couple of years ago in Dublin. That was a really, really good night.
Very good. Yes, I know Ireland is a great market for TNA, and I hope we make our way back over there sooner than later. And I think from the little rumblings I hear, a little birdie told me that we're hoping to go over there more. So I hope that comes to be. Definitely.
Well, what can the fans of TNA expect from this World Title Series?
I think they can expect it's going to have much more of a sporting event type feel than like a professional wrestling / sports entertainment concept. Even if you watch the first show with the graphics and the scoreboard and just the way it's like much more of an athletic contest. It's very similar. Obviously, it's based after the World Cup. It's going to have a very similar format, and I think wrestling fans who really love wrestling more than like storyline, overly heavy storyline driven pieces on wrestling shows, I think they're really going to enjoy this because the action is going to be every man in this tournament. Of the 32 people that started, want to win it and become the final guy and become the champion. So it's going to really have much more of an athletic sporting event type feel to it.
And you think that's the direction of pro wrestling should go in now?
I think it is. Pro wrestling will always be kind of a standalone act, because there's always going to be an entertainment aspect of it, because you're going to have larger than life characters, and it works because you can even look over like UFC. They built, you know, they a lot of personality and personas onto their characters. The guys who stand out in, you know, in baseball and football, and I'm sure over there, soccer and with your football, like, I mean, there's going to be guys who almost like have a gimmick, who have like a larger-than-life personality, and they become the biggest stars in the league, you know, more often than not. And that's always going to be a part of professional wrestling. So Impact Wrestling is always going to have guys that are characters, that are going to have personas that are larger than life. But I think the more we can kind of gear it towards being a sporting event, I think it'll even more appreciated from the fan base.
Okay. Well, we're on a bit of a time lapse here in the UK and Ireland, because we get the shows on a Sunday and a Wednesday compared to when they go live in the US. So there's still kind of a bit of delay from feedback here towards the series. What has it been like over there in the US?
It got great feedback. And one thing that made me very happy is that after the Bound for Glory pay-per-view, and you know, the celebration of me winning, and then it happened pretty rapidly in the next couple of days. So after the EC3 injunction, and then me having to relinquish the title, and then the World Title Series started. I mean, it happened very, very rapidly. But just all that buzz about it, actually here in the United States, it drew probably the best rating we've had since we've been on the Destination America Television Network, which is cool, because it shows that people are interested in what was happening from you know, a storyline aspect from the company. So I think people are going to see this show and go, wow, this is really kick-ass wrestling. And I think that's what diehard wrestling fans want now in this day and age in 2015.
2015 has been a crazy year for you in particular. You know, you had a great series of matches with the Wolves on Team 3D, and you actually had to vacate the tag team belts there as well. So you've won championships, but you've vacated championships as well. It seems to be you're winning championships left, right, and centre. Like, how do you feel about 2015 as a whole for yourself?
2015 has been a standout year for me, and body of work, looking at it from top to bottom. And you know, it sucks because at least I don't have to take the heat for these titles being relinquished or vacated. In the first one, it was my brother, you know, being Evil Knievel, breaking his leg. So I didn't have a tag team partner, so I was forced to relinquish the title. Yeah. And then the second time around, it was EC3 and his malicious hate for me becoming champion in my home state. He's the one that filed the legal issue, which made me relinquish the title. And, you know, looking back, it sucks. It'd been nice to have great reigns with those. But, you know, I did my job. I worked hard. I earned the title match. The circumstances. But my goal right now is to win this World Title Series and get that right mode.
Okay.
Hey, Matt, you're cutting in and out quite a bit. It may be where you're located in your where you are.
Okay. I'll try and stay. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, I'll try and stay right here. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
No problem.
Yeah, no, just to finish up, Matt, 2016, looking ahead, what does the future hold for yourself and Jeff and the Hardy brand in general, aside from the World Title Series? Like, what do you guys want to achieve next year?
Well, I know right now my brother his leg is healed from the break he had, but he found out he had some ligament damage in his leg, so now he's doing rehabilitation on that, trying to do it without having a surgical procedure done. Okay. So I know his first goal is to get healthy. Right. My goal obviously is to win this World Title Series and become the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Okay. But in the bigger scheme of things, I want, as a singles competitor, to try and be a great representative of TNA, and I want to do things for TNA that I can, you know, I want to do everything for them that I can to help them as a brand and as a company and help grow. Whether it's here doing this promotional interview with you, or just being a great performer whenever I'm, you know, wrestling on the television programs, or if I'm doing a meet and greet, or if I'm representing them in any way, shape, or form, because the wrestling industry needs TNA, and it needs Impact Wrestling to grow and thrive. And there's a lot of guys out there that are working for TNA that are amazing athletes, amazing professional wrestlers. And it's my job to try and help contribute as much as I can to TNA, just think of the best possible product that it can be.
I agree 100%. I've been a fan for 12 years, so, you know, it's something that I'm happy to hear. And I wish you all the best, sir. Thank you so much for taking time to talk with me. I really appreciate it.